Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 38th episode of the Insiders on Real Estate and Marketing. I'm your host, Sandy Hibbert, and joining me today is my co-host, Mr. Marc Miller, and our special guest, Denise Ackerman. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. I mean, it's been a hairy last couple of days, losing my Mac and going crazy with, technology stuff. Man, we are so dependent.
I know.
On it. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, but you're an entrepreneur, so you have to manage that yourself.
I do, yeah.
I submit a help ticket.
Oh, Marc Miller. You're still submitting help tickets.
Wait for a reply.
Yeah, and he calls me up. Sandy, what about this morning?
Where's the form? Where's the outline?
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh, we've had some good times though in that. You're a good leader like that. Well, we're super excited today to have Denise. If you are new to real estate or new in a business, or you've been in business for a long time and you're trying to get over that hump to find the job of your dreams, Denise is the gal, and that's why we've had her here today. Denise is a coach. She has a very interesting history with social work, so she's got all that knowledge and passion. But the bottom line, how I would describe Denise, is she has the heart and soul of real estate. So we're just kind of going to dig in today and get some tips on coaching, get some tips on marketing, and first find out, how is the market right now, you guys?
The market has definitely improved. Contracts are up about 30% over last month.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little bit increase in the closing traction as well. Mm-hmm. So you just kind of feel a little better energy. Of course.
Are you feeling spring market?
Yeah.
A little bit here.
And the thing, it's kind of funny because you just kind of get going along, you're feeling good and optimistic, and all of a sudden here comes the Fed. And then they did another quarter bump.
Did they?
In the rates, which does not always, as I've said before, correlate to an immediate.
Does this mean we can invest our money yet?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
And strangely enough, I mean, I've got a money market with XYZ Bank, and so curiosity, let's call and find out what my rate is. Are they automatically bumping me? No.
Of course
so
not.
I was under 1%, and by the time I got off the phone, I was at 4%. So all of a sudden you're going, wait a minute, our savings is we've sort of forgotten about, we've just been putting money in there for safety reasons.
Right. and not putting it in the big stocks and
stuff.
stuff.
I mean, one of the benefits of the rates, if you're going to look at anything going up, is that the banks are paying higher interest on your accounts.
So I should call my guy and
call him and say, hey,
go to bat
what are
for
you
me?
doing? I've got and just tell him you got a proposal out there from somebody else for X.
Yeah.
See what they come up with.
Okay.
So anyhow, all that being said, I think mortgages are probably still 30 years, probably just below 7%. But I think we'll see some softening to that as we usually do.
It's so funny.
I think we get in the 5.5, 6.5 range, and it can stay there consistently. I think we're going to see that.
I mean, don't you think that's a sweet spot?
Yeah. I mean, and it's a good.
I mean,
it's a good
especially
rate.
in our lifetime, for a 5 or a 6 in our lifetime has been.
Yeah. I think we've gotten past the mentality of 2 or 3%.
Yeah.
And then, the other challenge of that is just the average, probably list price in our markets compared to other markets are awfully high. Mm-hmm. So it's still a little bit of a challenge of how do you bring forth a mortgage with that higher price, $500,000 and above. And but there's always creativity in our industry. Our industry always adjusts.
It does.
They find ways.
Yeah.
To that side. So I'm encouraged to what I'm seeing, and I'm hopeful of a better spring.
Good.
For everybody in the business. Yeah. So
I mean, Dallas market is so consistently consistent.
Yeah.
That I didn't figure that the bottom was dropping out or anything. And with spring coming around, I think that we're going to see the market surge up a little bit. So that'll be good for everybody as well.
Right. Demand is definitely still there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of matching that to.
What's inventory like? We heard for so long that there was no inventory. Is that the same, or is it scooching up?
What I'm seeing in the stats that are posted is inventories around 2 months.
Okay.
Maybe
Still
a
not
month
a
and
whole
half
lot.
to 2. But when you start thinking it used to be 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. But normal would probably be a 6 month.
Yeah, healthy market 6 months.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. So we're still are out of balance, but we're better than where we were for other reasons that the inventory came back.
Well, remember when we had our show, December, January, our guests, we were all talking about what was going to happen with the rates and how things were going to settle. Now here we are at the end of March. Have you seen that? Are we still in the same place we were in January, or do you think
Well,
things have-
I think we're improved.
Okay.
I think, and then when you throw the other piece into this, and that's the bank failures that we had most recently announced, and the rate being kicked up again, it's going to put stress on other banks that are out there. So, and then the feds just say, well, we'll just save everybody. Well, that's not how it works.
Can't happen.
So that will lead, at least on probably more in the commercial sector, to a little tighter underwriting, and I think we'll have more impact to commercial than it will to the residential side of it. But so there's just this, we're all optimists, or we wouldn't be in this business.
I know, right?
And
And you're thinking enough already with all these
Exactly.
numbers. Just get me some business.
yeah, give me a break. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
So, and I keep saying the same thing. It's all self-imposed by the administration, and it just wasn't necessary to be here. But we are where we are, and we have to figure out a way to make a living in it.
Here we are. So
Yeah.
what do we do? How do we craft
So therefore,
it?
how do the people? Because it's interesting for Denise being here as well, is we depend on the mortgage business, the title business, on the realtor bringing us
Right,
the
you
business.
do.
So, we're the big supporters and rah-rah and try to offer training at other categories that we're not capable of, one of which is we don't do is coaching, because that's just not our forte, if you will. But I do think that there's a lot of, what baffles my mind is that there are, on average, this is Collin County, 150 new agents a month are coming into Collin County, to a population of now 11,000 licensed realtors in Collin County. So just thinking about that, I start thinking about what are that 150 reading that I'm not. And
Pie in the sky, I think, is what they're reading.
That's 150 people that are, would be a candidate for Denise, but are coming in and they're going to go through selective brokerage. They're going to go through whatever their fast tracks are. But where do they find and look at the coaching side, and how do they get to that knowledge that is available to them out there as a resource to that side? So, and Denise has been doing this for 35 years. I mean, I met her at Keller Williams Plano.
Even before that.
Yeah.
Even before that,
Right.
you and I were at.
Was it Commonwealth?
We were at Allegiance together.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always have to look and say, what company have I not?
I was there for a nanosecond. I'm just going to say, Dawn was not very happy with me.
Yeah, well, she didn't like me either, but that's another story.
we all had a stint there.
Yeah, but I think, as you have evolved through the industry, I think you found your place.
I did, yeah.
And probably to some degree, you probably use your social work skills more than you would like to think you do.
Well,
when you're trying to manage these people.
considering I only did that, I was telling Sandy this morning, I got my degree in social work. I thought I was going to serve people. And then I went into the trenches of working with families in abused and neglected family and children. And I was like,
Tough.
7 years was all I could do
That's
of
tough,
that.
yeah.
It was, especially in Dallas.
Yeah.
It was really tough. So that's what led me to real estate. I was like, there's got to be something better. I thought I'd be an interior designer for a bit. Went back to school, but didn't work. So then I got into real estate. And I was like, probably, I'm going to say, at least 75% of the people that get out there, or 87% if you look at the stats.
Yep.
I got in, had no idea of business. I mean, social work, working for the government is not business. And we have so many people that come in from the corporate world that have been, they're just, the middleman, they do their job, go home. Nurses, teachers, none of those.
It's not real estate.
It's not
Real estate's its own beast.
And real estate is sales.
Yep.
That's what people forget. I didn't know that. I just like
Preach
people
on. That's
and-
exactly right. So how do you sell? How do you take a nurse who's been working in that kind of a capacity, you put her into, real estate, and now you've got to sell yourself. You've got to become a marketer. You got to be bold and talk about yourself and be that person, that's always doing the 60-second elevator pitch.
And have a business development strategy.
Have that,
Yeah.
and then be able to sleep at night. So I think the life and business coach is really important.
And it
here.
is.
And those kind of intertwine, don't they?
For me, they intertwine a lot.
Yeah.
a lot of the coaching companies and out there, training companies for real estate agents is strictly business. And I used to have people come in and they'd be a little afraid to come in because I had accountability I was going to ask them about. And they knew that I would talk to them about, okay, why? Why is this happening? You know, and talk about their lives. But I want to go back to what you said about a nurse. I have a great story about that.
Tell me.
I had a nurse that came in, she got burned out. She had probably the hardest job there is in nursing. She was a NICU critical care.
Oh, gosh.
So she was dealing with the sickest of sickest babies. And she had done that for years. Midlife, you know, we go through our crisis, a lot of people. And so she thought, I'll do real estate. And she was actually good. She was she is a detail person. She did the contract very well. She got business. She actually capped. She was a Keller Williams agent. And so I thought that was pretty good. After I was gone, I think she had left Keller Williams before I did, and she was still selling. And then one day she called me. I had left. I'd started my own business, and she said, you know, I had to get out of real estate. And now I'm back in nursing, and I don't know what to do with my life. Well, it turns out that it was the business that just ate her up.
I can totally understand how
Very,
that could
very sensitive, you know, caring, completely caring. And the business part of it, the bitter part of it, which it can be when you get into negotiation, it just tore her up and she couldn't do it. Guess what she's doing now after life coaching? She's an artist.
Really?
She found her
Awesome.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
You feel like that was because of the way you coached her and helped her?
Well, I think I had a
a
part
little
in
credit,
it.
yeah.
As it's, you know, I feel like I'm a conduit. That's the way I look at it.
So helping people find their passion, which sometimes can take a freaking lifetime for some
Right.
people to finally find that niche where they're comfortable, right?
Absolutely. When it comes back to realtors, I mean, the stat is that 87% of all the people that get the real estate license are out of the business in 2 years.
Wow.
And I used to see this. I've worked for a company in leadership and running an office. And we'd have these Friday meetings about recruiting, and they would say, hire anybody you can. Throw them up against the wall and see if they stick. And I had a problem with that because when people would walk in and I'd start interviewing them and I'd find out that they had 2 months worth of money, I couldn't hire them. I didn't have the heart to do that.
That was a disservice if you did.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And so that's where my coaching started.
Okay.
Was in leadership and actually in the title business. I did a little coaching because I would meet these agents and I could see their struggle. And what I started doing as a coach, as a real estate coach, is first finding what their why is. Why are they here? And a lot of times they don't know why. They get into real estate, they think, this is the place where I'm going to get rich. And we all know that scenario.
Right.
And then that doesn't happen. They get stuck. They don't know how to do sales. So I would look at what's their why and what are their strengths. And when you can line that up and help them understand the system of real estate, then they have a chance. But too many get in the business and they don't seek the right broker.
Yeah. And I can say from being involved in real estate for the 23 years with my business doing marketing that not everybody is cut out for real estate. So to your point, you know, hire anybody that you can, throw it on the wall, see if it sticks kind of thing. It takes a really special person, I think, to be in real estate. Now, you know, if we're just going to focus on real estate, then it takes a very special person to run your own business. If you're an entrepreneur, it takes that spirit, that drive that doesn't have to be nudged to get work done, that doesn't have to be reminded on projects. I mean, you are your own king or queen in that business that you own. And I think that that's so important. And so many people that either, if you're an entrepreneur, you've got a marketing company, you're a web designer, you're a YouTube podcaster, you're a realtor, whatever that business is that you've jumped out on the limb to do, it takes a special person to see it through. And I did a series of marketing tips, 52 killer marketing tips last year. And I had to commit to doing a video of a marketing tip every week. And you would think that that's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
And
It is.
but to sit down and write the content, present myself properly, do the video, get it out and get it marketed. By the end of that series, my video was, well, guys, can you believe that I made a commitment and I did it for 52 weeks in a row? And I saw it through. And it was such a learning experience for me and a teaching opportunity for other people who are starting off on a business or starting off on a marketing program or starting off in real estate, that you have to make those commitments and you have to self-empower yourself to do that. And so that's why I say owning your own business and being in real estate isn't for everybody, because some people just want to be told what to do. And if you're one of those that just wants to be told what to do, real estate ain't for you, you know?
So you mentioned something about the brokerage side. How often do you get engaged in discussions with people that are in a particular brokerage firm and you sort of know that's not the right fit for them? And how can you kind of lead?
I really haven't had that much recently. I'm trying to think when I would have that. Being out in the real estate world, when I was recruiting, I would find that a lot.
Yeah.
And yet, I have a sense of integrity that you don't step on the other guy. What you do is you help the person in front of you find a solution for their problem, and help them understand where that is.
I like that. So talk about that some more. How do you do that? What do you mean?
Well, if someone's business is not growing and they don't have the systems, they don't have knowledge of where to find things. They don't have knowledge of the contract or just how to lead generate. Then if you can help them find a way to do that, or you know of a way to do that, which is at a different brokerage, then you tell them about it. And help them understand why that's important.
And I think that there are some brokerages too, to your point, that are fitted for new agents, that are fitted for luxury agents, that are fitted for
Season agent.
ranch agents or seasoned agents.
Right.
So I think knowing how to find that, and I think that would be an incredible part of your job, is knowing how to steer somebody.
Absolutely. And I think we've all seen so many changes in real estate. It used to be mainly the big boxes and mom and pops. And this concept of just massive agents paying only a transaction fee in these enormous, not even local real estate companies. When I would go to the real estate schools, I know that people are attracted to that idea of just a transaction fee, 100% commission. They don't realize what they're trading for.
Yeah, true.
You get what you pay for.
Right.
Yeah, you do. That's so
Right, and a
true.
lot of that is measuring against whether you need to be developed in the industry or whether you're already developed in the industry. And to that point in question, it's one thing to deal with somebody to try to help them become productive. How do you coach to the one that is productive and wants to take their production
Yeah.
from 10 million to 20 million?
Then you help them have a vision.
Okay.
So,
Ooh,
which
okay.
is my favorite thing to do. I've coached many people that I knew right off. I use the DISC assessment, and typically, if they are what's called the high D, that's the driver. I love them. It's like, okay, let's get to work.
That's your forte.
That's my forte. And it's those people that you help them build a vision. I think of an agent I coached not too long ago who came from Africa. And she has found her niche, building like tribes, building groups of families in subdivisions.
Wow.
So they know that they're together because they've just come over here. They, they don't know the culture, so they have their own.
Awesome.
And she started coaching with me. She'd only been doing real estate maybe a year, didn't really know what she was doing. And she is now a top agent with agents elsewhere. And I can see her duplicating her model all over the state of Texas and beyond.
Awesome. Well, you've done all these things. You've had this long career in coaching and helping people on all kinds of levels. Where has that taken you to today? How are you mixing that all together, and what are you doing today?
So I'm still doing my life coaching, which is the visioning. I'm a certified dream builder coach, so I still do that.
Love that.
Yeah, love doing
I want to talk to you more about
Okay,
that.
I love doing that. And I use it with the realtors. And so we had the pandemic. And during that time, I coached a young man that I had coached before in real estate. I did some life coaching with him. And he left the position he had, which was a team leader. And he decided to become a coach. And he aligned with a company that he kept knocking on my door saying, "You need to join us." And I was just like, I don't want to do that. And then I looked at their model. And the company is called The Locker Room. And their passion, the man that started it, Jake Dixon, had been with the same company that I had been with. And he saw the flaws that were there in the model and saw all these people that would fail.
And the model being the
Interesting.
coaching model?
The coaching model that we had. And we would put them through whatever, and they were still failing. And he read a book called The Blue Ocean Strategy and saw the need for the blue ocean of failing agents and failing brokerages. I mean, people that get into being an independent broker and hiring agents, again, that sounds like a great concept. It's really hard. I never wanted to be a broker because I knew how hard it was. So, so that's who they focus on. And when I heard the passion around it and the collaboration, which is one of my favorite words, I was like, okay, I'm in. So I'm partnering with them, doing some of my business in the real estate business and in the life, and which really merge.
So
It's
it
all
sounds
one.
to me like your vision and your passion is on the life coaching side.
Yeah.
Helping people find their
And
path.
business. I do love the
But
business.
doesn't
part.
it seems like that would just segue right into that.
It does.
Yeah.
It's all one.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
I see that.
You're not limited to just real estate.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I've coached lenders. Being a friend, I've coached title people because my friends are all in the real estate business.
Right,
So,
right. So if you need a vision coach, I think you should definitely reach out to Denise. And Denise, how can people reach you? Can you we don't have it on the screen, but why don't you tell them?
No. So the best way to reach me is through social media. Direct message on Facebook. It's Denise Ackerman. So I'm just going to put that in there. And LinkedIn, as well as Instagram.
Awesome.
My favorite's Facebook, though.
Good. Okay. Then reach out to her. We're out of time.
Are we?
It always
All right.
goes so quickly. So I want to talk about our 3 takeaways. And I like to do this at the end of our show. And we'll start with Marc. But give me 3 things you really want to drive home to the audience for them to think about when it gets to your turn. We'll start with Marc.
Well, I would say that I'm a big proponent of coaching. I'll even put /mentoring
Yep,
in that.
agree.
And don't try to go out here and swim in this lane by yourself. If your brokerage firm is not offering those, then find someone that can help you. I've often suggested that, you might be surprised who might be willing to mentor you within your own brokerage organization.
yeah.
For one. But I do think this has got to be, this business is very similar in some ways when it comes to marketing. It has to do with designing a program, following that program, adjusting if necessary, but you got to make the calls at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, and I would think the accountability side is probably more about what they're doing for that reaching out and the productivity side as much as it is about what your model is or your strategy, that side. So,
Lead generation is the key.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole wrap of it is you got to have, this is they're called independent contractors. But at the end of the day, you really need to have some alignment with some people that can help you
Yeah, for sure.
through the deal. And the second thing I say is, what you're doing out there, don't follow the pack. The pack does. I see it. Sometimes I just shake my head all the time. I see the postings on Facebook. There's 40 agents posting the same thing about market stats in their county.
I know what you're talking about.
Hates that.
I hate
He
it.
always has to say something.
I know what you're talking about.
Number one, it's produced by a title company. It's not produced by
That's
them.
right.
Number
Yep.
two, they offer no narrative. Well, if you're putting that out there with the intention of getting someone's attention,
Give me an explanation.
Give them a narrative as to what it means. Is good, bad, indifferent? What are those signs? What point to that? So
Don't just put a meme
So
that's out there.
back
Yeah.
to this is whatever you're doing, whether you're getting educated or you're educating, you've got to be using that as a way to, I think, attract people and be able to generate business by your expertise and be more knowledgeable. And as I've always said, be consultative.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
those are some of my thoughts.
Absolutely.
Good. So Denise, what are your 3 points you want to drive home?
If you are getting into real estate, choose a brokerage that will support you, that will train you, that will mentor or coach you. Don't go with just commission. And know your why. Know why you're getting into it, because that's going to hold you in it. And the other one is use your strengths. Know your strengths. Don't, like Marc said, don't be part of the pack. Go find out what makes you unique,
Yeah,
and that's going to set you apart.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think the other thing too that I would say to people is that you said if you're getting into the business, select the right brokerage firm. If you are considering moving from a firm
that
to
too.
another, then to me, that would be a place where I'd pick up the phone and call Denise and have a conversation about what are the other firms that are out there, what do they offer, because you've got an inside perspective to that,
Well,
right?
and why? Yeah.
why? And the
Why?
why.
Why do they want to move?
Right. Yep.
True. Well, my 3 takeaways, and always with a little bit of a marketing twist, is first of all, I loved the nurse story because what that says to me is that sometimes we're all trying to fit ourselves into a skin that's not ours. We don't know what we're doing. We're not getting any help with any instruction or guidance. And so we just go for this thing, go for that thing. But she finally found her niche. And I think that is where we're all going. We want to find that comfortable skin where we can flourish and be successful. So find that passion within yourself, and then don't follow the pack. I have to piggyback on that, Marc. I think that is so true. Whether that, and that has to do with the first thing, don't follow the pack into a career path, but find your own reason, your own passion for doing that, and then make yourself stand out with the marketing, with your coaching, whatever it is that you're doing. I think that's super important. And then wrapping it all up in one thing is personal marketing. You've got to do your own personal marketing. If you're just doing the marketing that the brokerage is handing you, if you're just doing the marketing that the franchise is offering you, it's not good enough. You have to substantialize yourself in your local grassroots sphere. Whatever it is that you are, you've got to let that be known in your market, whether that is a market in a particular industry like real estate or title or
An association.
HVAC or that you have to set yourself apart, because what sells today, whether that's on social media or whether it's out here on podcasts or whatever kind of marketing that you're doing for your business, is personalization.
Personality. Show your
Personality, absolutely. I think that is huge. So finding your personality, sometimes that's hard for some people.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
All of those things.
And, we can talk about that stuff all day long like it's no big deal, but for some people, and even for us, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard work. And I always tell my kids, you got to do the work. Tell my grandchildren, you got to do the work, because all this stuff doesn't come easy. Knowing yourself doesn't come easy.
Well, all 3 of us could sit down and you said, here's the topic, build a strategy. We could build a strategy, but not everybody can do that.
Right.
And so that's where I think you need a coach to kind of get you started into the right pathway.
And a business person.
Yeah.
And a marketing person.
And a marketing person. Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Build your
right.
team.
Build your team.
Yeah. So.
Well, It's been a great show. Thank you, Denise, for joining
Thank
Mark
you.
and I.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you.
Buddy, thank you for all that you do.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Thank you for Secured Title of Texas, who Mark is president of, and they are our sponsor for the third year in a row here at the Insiders. So if you are in real estate and you haven't made a title partner yet, check Mark's company out. They are homegrown Texas folk, and they know how to get the deal closed with authenticity and passion and caring about you and your clients. So I would definitely check them out. Secure
Appreciate
Title of
that.
Texas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys. We will see you next month on the Insiders. Ciao.
Ciao.